AskReddit asks, what hobby would you like to give a try but don't because of the expense?
Flying without a doubt. Would want to get a pilot's license.
You should at least take a discovery flight. They are usually only $100 or so. It's a lot like a drug dealer giving you your first taste for free. I did it once. 2,000 hours of flying later I finally gave up the habit.
Buddy of mine got his pilot's license. The first time he invited me to come with him so we could crush some cloud sodas. I realized I was never going to fly with him.
3D printing. If I get a cheap printer, I know I'll just end up jonesing for a more expensive printer. And pretty soon I'll be convincing my wife to let me buy $50 worth of plastic so I can print a new shed to house my collection of printers. Edit. Please stop suggesting cheap printers. I told you how this would end. Edit. For those asking, the movie is not currently in development. Keep an eye on r/Rome or r/Proofrock 451 for any updates.
Yep, this is my exact issue as well. Except I am the wife and no one shall stand between me and my printer shed.
Sailing looks fun.
Sites like Latitude 38, https www.latitude38.com/crewlist/daysailing/skipper_results. Lasso, match up volunteer crew with skippers, boat owners. Sailing a larger boat is a lot easier with an extra set of hands. It's totally free, and a lot of skippers are okay with taking novices. Just keep your eyes open and follow instructions.
Unemployment.
You ain't gotta be rich to do nothing, Peter. Just look at my cousin. HES broke. Don't do shit.
Lol, this is my favorite answer. I knew two unemployed guys. One was just ridiculously rich and despite having a company, he didn't actually work. His money and staff worked for him. The other guy was living at home with mummy and daddy, even now at 32, and just lives off their money and whatever benefits he is entitled to. Both their lives are so easy.
Traveling.
Rand Aldor, edit. Thanks for the treasure, kind strangers. Rand is pleased. I could see how that would mess with the compass instrumentation.
Sensible chuckle.
Well done, sir.
Farming. Not on a massive commercial level, just a couple acre field, but even that requires several $1,000s worth of equipment to properly manage.
I often dream about farming instead of a 9-to-5 job, but it's a completely different lifestyle with no vacations. Not sure I want to deal with that. It's admirable, though. ETA. Holy crap. Why did my comment get so many upvotes? Anyway, the only farms I've really been exposed to are the super small ones where I live. And mainly the big Amish farms I see when I go to Pennsylvania. In terms of family farms, unless there's a mass exodus of people breaking Amish, I don't see those dying out.
You should at least take a discovery flight. They are usually only $100 or so. It's a lot like a drug dealer giving you your first taste for free. I did it once. 2,000 hours of flying later I finally gave up the habit.
I treated myself to a discovery flight for my birthday around 5 years ago. I really enjoyed it, but I was never able to budget for a PPL. Later I learned that I'll never qualify anyway because of a medical condition, so oh well. Now I just fly on commercial planes using miles for my birthday every year. My job usually has me flying 30 to 50,000 miles a year, so I always have enough for a free flight.
Warhammer 40k.
I have a friend of mine who is single, in his 50s, no kids, and has a house with 2 rooms filled with 40k stuff. He also has a room dedicated to just painting. His figures, to my untrained eye, look amazing. He admits that 40k is a lifestyle. I accept it, but I don't completely understand it. Look into Kill Team, similar game, but just need like 5 to 10 infantry models. It's supposed to be an elite team of your best guys. That's how I play. I literally got one of my favorite teams for $30.
RC attack helicopter models. I don't mean the little ones, but the 5/2 of a meter in length ones.
You want warbirds. So much more fun. My brother and I fly RCA quarter-scale warbirds and dogfight a lot. P-51 versus Spitfire is quite fun, but gets pretty expensive because you will at least a few times drive it into the ground.
Glass blowing.
I did this for a while. Classes were basically $25 per hour.
Which was definitely not cheap.
But it was doable, of course.
After you finish taking classes, it stays expensive.
Know the best thing about taking glassblowing classes? Nobody knows what shitty glassblowing looks like.
You'll bring your first paperweight or pumpkin home and everybody will be like, wow. It's amazing.
I've always wanted to take a class. It looks so fun.
Restoring a classic muscle car.
Check out Art Project Car, you may realize it's feasible.
Working on cars in general lol.
Motorbike. Closing parenthesis dot. Falconry. I asked a fellow on here a few years back what went into becoming a falconer, and he said it's a lengthy process that involves building an enormous enclosure for them to live in. I don't even own a house, let alone a yard big enough for that type of enclosure. So that ain't happening anytime soon.
Not even the expense, but also the sheer amount of time involved. That's one of those everyday, often many hours a day things.
My blood isn't royal enough for falconry. Best I could do is a hawk.
Scuba diving.
If I can't scuba, then what's all this been about? What am I working towards?
Scuba diving actually isn't that expensive if you just rent the gear. Try taking an open water course and see if you like it. The only gear I bought is fins and a mask.
Mountaineering. Not just your casual hike but crossing glaciers. Climbing with rope and reaching summits. Expect a big investment in gear. You'll want certificates, so you'll have to pay for several 2-week all-in trips, and many mountains can be summited seasonally, so you'll need to take 2 weeks off at random times of your job. Besides finding the time to train several days a week for a few months before departure.
Nah, send it. Ernest Hemingway said, there are only 3 sports: bullfighting, motor racing, and mountaineering, and all the rest are merely games.
Single, in his 50s. No kids, 2 rooms filled with 40k stuff. Our chicken and egg situation here.
The egg came first. I bet the chicken wasn't too happy.
Mayonnaise is a good beginner instrument.
Just make sure you got that down pat before moving on to something more advanced like horseradish.
Do instruments of torture count?
It's always nice to hone your craft.
If I can't scuba, then what's all this been about? What am I working towards?
Keep it running. Throws keys to no one.
Hey, did one of you tell Stanley that I have asthma? 'Cause I don't.
I want to take up a new instrument.
Astrophotography.
Both time-intensive and expensive.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day, you wonderful people.